All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to 3 Americans myth I don't believe in after living in the Netherlands. Thank you so much for the support. This is from one of my subscribers. Make sure you like to subscribe, guys. We're going to simply jump in. Let's go.
4 years, and not for nothing, every time I go back to the States and talk to people, I'm reminded of just how much I was brainwashed to believing in things that are complete myths. And when people ask me what brought me to the Netherlands, the first thing I say is the quality of life. And now look, there is no secret, I am an American. And matter of fact though, I'm like the definition of an American. I am like freaking Captain America. I grew up poor, living in the south side of Chicago. I worked extremely hard. Matter of fact, while I was in high school, there was a point where I was working 3 jobs. 3. I bought my own car with my own money, moved out, got my own place, went to college, finished that. Not gonna lie though, that was a struggle. Moved to LA, got a career in television, and this whole time on the side, I was also doing hustling. Like I was building apps, I was hacking video games, I was writing shows, and I was even editing and shooting people's actors' reels as well as short films. And, I did all this because I thought that this was the way. This was the way to the American dream. My first trip out of the country, I realized that this is not. I knew that America lied to me about this is what life should be like. And
God damn.
I was just in the States, like, hey,
You know, that's a sentiment of a lot of people, man. I'm telling you, it's a sentiment. A lot of Americans, they need to just get out, just explore the world.
I'm fresh out, but I was just in the States, and you still see and you still hear what people value and what people think quality of life is. Which is crazy because that is one of the biggest myths ever told to Americans. Because, man, when I went to Germany for the very first time in like 2009, and look, I didn't even go to like a major city or nothing. I was out, man, I can't even remember the name of the city. It was like Brockenheim? Like I was out in the boondocks. When I had this trip, that was when I really realized or got a taste of real quality of life. Because being American, I thought that a good quality of life meant having certain stuff, which is so crazy to think about. And matter of fact, when I do think about it, like, I'm not gonna lie, now when I think about it, I'm like ashamed to think that way.
Golly.
I'm like, what are we doing? And now look, don't get me wrong, money is important. It is a very important tool to have. But the biggest myth that's sold to us on a daily basis in the States is the definition of quality of life and how we use money. Basically, in America, the quality of life is more determined on what you can see, so it's very visual. So when you think about it like that, when you think about the American quality of life being more visual, Americans look at Europe as a low quality of life. Like, that's just the way it is. I mean,
Really? Really? Americans think that Europe has a lower quality of life. That's a new one for me. I'm telling you, I might be living in a rock. That's a new one for me. I was always thought the opposite. That Europe always has a higher quality of life than Americans. That is interesting.
the houses were smaller, the refrigerators, everything was a lot smaller. You had a lot less. That is
Oh,
an
okay.
American thing. Quality of life is more visual to us. When the fact is, a lot of the stuff that's good quality of life is the things that you can't see. Come, Pip, tell me that ain't bars. Come on. Look, I am an example. I make a lot less money. I have a lot less stuff, but I'm a lot more happier, and my quality of life is through the roof. Like, I'm living like I'm rich almost. I get to spend a lot of time with my kids. I have my sons in ski. We're also thinking about putting them in some kind of engineering course because he loves building things. I can afford healthcare. I can afford daycare. I don't have to worry about the education. Education is solid too as well. Both my kids are learning multiple languages. I get to be outside every day. I get to take long lunches. I don't have to worry about certain time. Like, it's just so much. Real quality of life is time. How much time do you have for yourself? How much time do you have?
And there you go. That he nailed it right in the head, man. Right there. This right here, guys. He's spot on. He's spot
to
on.
spend with the people you love, like your friends and family. And those are things that you can't see. You can't see time. Like, you can't. I get to spend so much time with my kids than Like, it's unreal. Versus, I remember being in LA, my son was born, and there were nights I was working, there were days I was working like 20-hour days, and you'd think I'm lying, but I'm not. Like, that's the worst part about it. I'm not even joking about that. So where is the real quality of
Damn,
life?
man.
Having all the stuff, or having time for your friends, your family, and just for you? Which one is it? To me, it's obviously the time. And it's something you can't see, you can't touch, but it's the most priceless thing that we have. And we just, people in the States just take it for granted. They put
Yep.
their values and quality of life
I agree.
into stuff. And that is just a big old fat lie. Side note, I thought I was about to step in some horse poop. That's just dirt or sand. And now, before I move on, I want to make it clear for those who are not on the same Wi-Fi. Matter of fact, it'll be a great time to get on the same Wi-Fi. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. No, but I do want to make it clear. I am not saying that people here are lazy or people in Germany are like, it is the complete opposite. That's the crazy part about the whole thing. No one's lazy. Everyone's working really hard. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Thanks. Oh, man. Another quick side note. Look who decided to come out and play. Holy cow, look at that sun. Wow. Beaming right on me. Another American myth that I don't believe in anymore is that everybody wants to be in America. I mean, and why would you? We're the best at everything. We got the best health insurance system. We have the best education, the best sports, the best mac and cheese, the best pizza. If you can name it, Americans the best at it. Matter of fact, if American can't solve the problem, then who can? And now, just in case you missed that, that was sarcasm. Oh man, just starting to rain. I'm just getting to the juicy part. But yeah, I'm sorry to say, America's not good at everything. And matter of fact, I think people already know this. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. People already know.
Yeah.
We ain't the best. I mean,
we have so much flaws, man. It's crazy. I mean, we are going through a lot right now, and culturally, we are. My God, you don't want to get through an American I mean, the feeds. If you're an European, you get through that feed from America, man. Social media is crazy here. The degeneracy is out of control, man. We're so out of control in degeneracy. I don't know where to start. It's that crazy. It's that crazy, guy. I'm not lying.
At the bottom of some things that we should be at the top on. And times have changed. People can see that America's it's not the same. No one's flocking to go there anymore because you have just as much opportunities in other places as you do in the States. The news and media may want you to think that everybody's like fighting to go to the States, but nah, it's not. It's just not the same anymore. It is not like that. And now, do you still have people going and immigrating to the States? Yes. But people aren't going there to live. People are going there to make money. Like, that's what I noticed. Our education isn't the best. Sadly to say, it's not. When you factor in the cost versus the reward, it's not the best. You can get just as good education, like, almost anywhere else. Same with anything medical and healthcare. Like, you could get better education, better healthcare, better medical attention almost anywhere else besides America, and it's not going to leave you in a large amount of debt because a lot of people, they're basically.
Let me say something. Not only that, you know how bad our education is? Man, it's just I want to get into this topic because I want to be fair. I want to be fair. You have people with master's degrees, they cannot even point. They can't even point to a country. I'm not making this stuff up. I used to work in the financial industry, selling life insurance and financial advisors and all that stuff. And I'm telling you, when it came down to ask this simple question, what country were you born? I'm not making this stuff up. People will tell me the name of their county. And if I had to go deeper, they will tell me the state or the address. I'm not making this stuff up. I even recorded once for my wife to listen because I couldn't believe it. And it was for certain demographics, so I'm not going to get into it. But it's just to show you that our education in certain areas has failed badly.
Debt slave. And a lot of people are actually a lot of people are looking more towards Asia and Europe. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, people are even looking at Mexico and Canada because I'm telling you, America put all these other countries and all these other places on the map. And now look, hear me out though. I'm not saying that it's perfect here and all the other countries are perfect as well. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that America is definitely not perfect. And that's something that's been ingrained in us since we've been growing up, is that we're the best at this, we're the best at that, and all this other stuff. And that's just not true. It doesn't matter how good the education is if you can't afford it. Doesn't matter how good the health care is if you're gonna basically die paying it back. It doesn't matter. And that's what people are seeing. People are seeing that just because something is expensive doesn't mean that it's the best. Oh, starting to hail. Whoa. You gotta go over here. Oh man, I wish it would stop hailing and raining so I could finish the video. Jeez. And then the next big myth that I just truly don't believe in anymore is that America is the home of the free and just all about freedom. So I was legit just in the States, and me and my brother-in-law were talking with some other family members, and one of the family members said something like that made me and my brother-in-law be like, and it's so crazy to hear Americans talk about all the freedoms that they have that like no other country has. That's what a lot of Americans think. A lot of Americans think that they are the freest country. America is the freest country, and this is just completely not true. I mean, not for nothing, most countries have the same freedoms and the same rights as America, and if not even more. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying every country has these freedoms, but a lot of countries have the same freedoms and more. You know what, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and say it. I personally think that the Netherlands has more freedoms than America. Look, look, hey. And I can wholeheartedly say that because
That was funny.
that I could do everything that I was doing in America. I could do it here. Plus added bonuses of the freedom of being safe, the freedom of fresh fruit, the freedom of opportunity, the freedom of affordable.
You know, he says something very important: the freedom of good food and fresh food. Right? That is so important. Here, you go to the supermarket, even the fresh food, it's not fresh food, man. It's not fresh food.
Healthcare, the freedom of affordable education, and the list goes on and on. And the biggest one is the freedom of a high quality of life at an affordable cost. And also, we got a lot of workers' rights. That's just a fact. Versus when it comes to American freedoms, it is like mind-blowing how certain things are allowed because you feel like it's intruding on your rights and your freedoms. That's mind-blowing, even though it could be causing tremendous harm to society, as well as even kids. Like, come on, man, come on. A perfect example of this is like the extreme pushes of freedom for guns and all this other stuff, knowing that there is a huge gun violence issue in the States. Matter of fact, another thing, when we were in the States, someone had told my wife how basically they are banning light up shoes for kids because it makes them easy targets for school shootings. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we doing?
I didn't know that.
Huge problem in the States.
No, I didn't know that. That's something interesting. I don't know that. I didn't know that.
Country has this kind of problem. Man, one of the saddest things I've read was that the leading cause of death for kids was gun violence. Meanwhile, here in the Netherlands, you can own a gun. In France, you can own a gun. In so many countries, you can own guns, and people do own weapons. But the laws just are like common sense laws that make sense. Maybe it shouldn't be allowed for you to just walk around in public with a stick on you. I mean, maybe that's just me.
A stick,
Maybe it's not okay for you to, actively try to shoot people who come and knock on your door. I mean, maybe that's just me. And now I do have to state, though, that I am not saying it is theft. We got all of it, right? But just the magnitude of it in the States is outrageous. And then also you have the whole freedom of speech thing, which is just being blown way out of proportion, especially in the States. It has gotten so extreme. And it's gotten so extreme because basically you could have someone say, hey, I'm fighting for freedom of speech, But then at the same time, the moment someone disagrees with this person, nah, it needs to be shut down. Matter of fact, everybody can get it. You don't agree with me? You're not on my side? No, you out. You can go. And now look, I know that sounds made up, but that's literally what's happening right now in the States. I ain't gonna say no names. I ain't gonna point any elbows, nothing, but it's happening. I mean, let's just say this person literally said, hey, I'm gonna own this company because of free speech, and then put himself at the top of the list to have the most engagement, the most boost in post, everything. And yeah, I ain't gonna say no names though. And you see, the Netherlands as well as Europe and even Asia have these freedoms, but they just take a different approach to freedom in general. And you can tell that freedom is more about the people and it's not about profit. It's not who has the most money. Nice to meet you, man. See you. And now, just on that note, I will say, look, I moved to the Netherlands. I've been here 4 years. Yes, I'm learning Dutch, yes. But yes, I am an American that's been living in the Netherlands for 4 years. I've also worked here for 4 years. I moved here without a job, and I also moved my wife and my son here as well. And the truth and matter of fact of it all is that Americans are richer. They make more money. But here, the people are wealthier. I'm just super saying.
Very good, man. Nice video. Leave a ninja coffee if you watch till the end. Oh, I don't know. Well, very interesting video, man. This is a good point, a good let's put it. I want to say a good perspective. I love this perspective. It just really give you another sense of how Americans are trying to just go through this world. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I'm glad that some of them has found some good areas in Europe. And I'm glad. I'm glad that they are trying to push themselves to just be better in a different country. Let me know what you guys think, guys. I would love to hear you guys' opinion. I'll see you next one.